Follow the channel and stay tuned for learning videos.
Okay. So yesterday we were working with the parent-child flows, right? So we were trying to use parent-child flow. So we had some issue. So the what was ChatGPT suggesting? It is asking to use set run only user, right? So well, we are unable to find that, right? So actually, the basically for every flow, if we scroll down here, below we are having run only user. So we just overlooked that and we haven't found that. So similarly for send email to engineering team, also we have to set that properly. So it was run only user is there. So instead of having the provided by run only user, we have to keep the other one. So if the by default we will be having this one provided by run only user. Uh, so if you have like this, I'm just saving it and we will try to see what's error. So we will get the same error whatever we have. So what is my original flow? This is the expression practice, right? So in here I'm trying to use that, right? So I'm at already added it, I will remove and add it again. So run child flow I was trying to add here, right? So I will just delete this, add it again, saving. This is the one, right? Send email to engineering team. So we have to give two inputs, engineering team alias. For that, we were choosing environment variable. For this one, we are giving the hard coded pass. So yesterday we are getting this right. Run for child. Now also we are getting. Now if you change this setting, run only user instead of provided by run only user, if you keep the connection whatever you have, I'm just keeping the my service account, the account login account. If you keep this one, it won't get. So what does it mean? The so if you keep provided by run only user means whoever created that flow only they can run like that. So if you keep the common service account, they will able to save it, they will able to use it. Now if you see, I will just do a refresh. And modify it, right? Anything changed. I'm just refreshing it. I'm doing it again. Child flow. Shouldn't be anything. Now it's able to save, right? So that's the mistake we did yesterday, so it went in a different direction. So in this every flow you will have a option. So if you scroll down here in the same screenshot, we were looking in the edit the top one, right? But if you scroll down a little bit, you will have this run only user where you have to keep the this file instead of provided by run only user, you have to change it. So that's what it's suggesting, right? Open the more commands connections like that. This is giving a different. So I tried the same issue in the other copilot that gave the proper steps child for details. So it's okay. Now now we are good. So what will happen whenever we use like this? If you run it, what will happen? It will execute the both, right? Expression practice. So I'm triggering the parent. Just now I'm triggering it. So it will call both. It will trigger both parent and child. We got some error. That's okay. So you don't have any. We have some issue. Email address is not there. So it is going here. That is expected. So let me correct the alias. And if you see for this run, email address one should be there. Now testing it. So if you see now, the flow will execute both branches. This branches and the patch both agrees. Also child flow also triggered. So it is giving succeeded because we are passing succeeded. If we come to this child flow, here you could see the runs. We might have see 22 second triggered. So whatever we are passing it in the flow, those will be come as a input parameters. These values. In, these are the we are having in the environment variable, right? Flow name we have hard coded. Those are coming as input. We are saying it is sending an email. Respond to for automate as a succeeded. That thing you are getting, right? States of the jail flow. So like this we will be using. So similarly, whenever we want to do repeated kind of actions, same logic across multiple flows, you will be using this. Okay. So this is how parent-child flow workflows. So to work this parent-child workflow, the one thing is you have both flows in single solution. Then only it will work. So that's the limitation we have. So both parent flow and child flow should be in the same solution. Then only it will work effectively. That's the Microsoft recommendation. Okay. Now let's go to the different topic, that is data operations. So on the first day we have seen little bit, right? What do you mean by data operations? So today we will explore more in deep. So what are the capabilities we are having in the data operations? What we can do, everything. Okay, I'm just creating an instant workflow so I can trigger it whenever I want to execute. Right. Data operations, manual trigger flow, create. Now I will just retrieve the all contacts. To retrieve all contacts, what we can use? We have to use list rows, right? List rows. What is the table contact we have to use? Columns, I am keeping all columns, or I will just keep first name, last name, email address. and filter rows I'm not keeping anything, row count I'm not keeping anything. So what will happen whenever you execute this flow? It will return the all active contacts, whatever you have it in the system. So if you see here in this, I have total 20 active contacts, all contacts. So I have 26 contacts are there. So all 26 give, it won't give any filtering or anything. The only thing what it will do, it instead of all fields, it will pull this first name, last name, email address fields. Let me run it. Is it still okay? Now I'm running it. So for manual flow, you can directly trigger from here, manually test. It will ask for connection confirmation. Now, if you go to the result, in the input, you will have the query, whatever you passed. So if you go to output, it will open in a this way. If you open this formatted, it will open like this. So as we have given specific columns, it's giving first name, last name like this. So you can copy this entire square brackets. So this is kind of an array. If so, individually you will have like this. If it is in the square brackets, mean it is an array in the JSON. So just copy the value, whatever you have it in the square brackets, just put it here. If you do format, where is it? Format. So you will have the nodes on. It will display how many you have. Let me use the other one. So he's 26. You have active 26 records, right? So it is pulled the same. So what I want to do, I want to do some filtering or I want to do some dynamic operations on this data. So in such scenarios, we will be using the data operations. So if you see data operations, last time we have seen only compose, right? We have seen compose for showing the values, but you have too many options here. Create CSV table, it will create Excel. Create HTML table, it will create HTML table. Filter array, join, all this. So what I want to do, I want to do a filtering. Okay, so for that purpose you have to pass the list, so array to filter. So whenever I'm using list arrays, you will get a array results on, right? Either it could be single record or multiple record. That is a array. So you have to pass it. So how do you pass it? You have to pass the output of list rows. So if you look for here, you have list rows is there, value of list items. So if you see in the JSON also, you are getting the, this is the result you are getting, right? So under whatever you have it in the value, this is a array actually. Okay. Now adding this and choose value based upon what value you want to filter out. So that filtering condition we have to give. So suppose you have these many contacts, right? So I want to filter on email, assume NH, which contains NS maker, or you can use company name, whatever it's there. But right now I'm using last name, first name, email, right? So let's try to use the same field. So it will give the results. So I'm trying to use NH1. So I'm just want to filter based upon email address. So for that one also we have to choose the attribute. What is the email attribute you're going to use? Email equal to, I'm just want to have this one. So if I do like this, what will happen? Here also I will try to put filter equals nh1 and so you have 8 rows, right? So but you are not querying it the list rows. You are querying after getting the results. So that's the difference between using filter rows and direct applying filter rows. So here I want to use for entire results. I want to apply filter for email with this value. Now I just made the changes. Now I will run it. So what I'm expecting, out of 26, only 8 has this. 8 has with this value, right? So you should get only 8 records. To it got executed. So input, you have 20. These will be 26. I will just copy. Again, you have 26. But if you see the output, whatever you got output, those will be limited, right? Only because it is queried. So whatever matching to the email address NH1, those only output. So in real time, you can use this kind of hard coded string, or you will be using some other value like float. This I will let me add this kind of input or some other. So what I will do, instead of hard coding this alias, I will be using the input value, username, the input email. So now both are dynamic, right? So if you hard code here in the Airtel case, what you can think this email address condition you can hard code here, but right now you can't do it, right? So similarly, so you can have static or you can have a dynamic content also in this querying. Now when I'm running this, what will happen? It will expect you to give the input. So I'm giving that input. Done. Now it will execute. It will give the same results, 8 results, because we are using almost same, right? Same alias. So like this, we will be querying the filtering array in the with the dot operations. So similarly, we have one more thing there. We have JSON array. We have, let's see that one by one. Okay, click on edit. Plus new. Go to dot operations. So we have seen filter array. Next thing is select. So select also similarly, we will do kind of a mapping. So here also in the from we will give the we have to give the array body value. In the map, what we have to give, so we will give the what is the, so suppose email address is email field, right? So instead of that email address one column, you want to give some name, meaningful name. Let's give like this key. So I'm just keeping the dynamic email. So so contact email address. So in earlier table, you are getting email address, contact ID, first name, last name, like this, right? Now instead of the email address one schema name, you want to rename it to as like this. If you want to do any such operations, you will be using this select. So what it will mean? You are selecting that columns and you are modifying with a different value. So let's try this one. So the output of select, it will give the same 8 results. Yeah, it will give 26 results because we don't have any filter. These are the list rows from first option, first operation, right? So it will have 26. but the output will contain, instead of this email address one, it will have a contact email address. Like that you will get. Let's run it. Executed. Select. So if you see, it is pulling everything. So it is changing the value to this one. So if you go to output, so this doesn't have any value. First 26, first few have. So whatever the attributes you are selecting, those only come. So we have selected only email address one, and we have given with a new value, right? So it will come with like this. So earlier you have email address one and you have this schema name, right? Now it is mapped to the new, it is mapped with a new at new value. So like that it will map. So suppose if you want to use one more column, you have to include whatever you include here, those only will come from the entire output. Like that it will work. Okay, any questions? You can use vice versa as well. I'm just changing this. Mapping. Now I am using one more contact. First name. Here I'm keeping. Now I will run execute. Instead of the regular output, I want to use the filtering output. So how to choose filtering attribute? Output of, these are the list rows body value. These are the list of items from the list rows. This is the list of items from the filter rows. So earlier I got 26, right? Now I should get only 8 because filter array gives only 8 records as a after filtering, right? Now testing it manually, giving NH. Executed, going to select. Now if you see, so contact email address equal to NH, contact first name. Like that you are get, it is renaming the attributes, and whatever the attributes you select, those only will come. Even though filter array has last name also it is there, right? Are you getting last name here? You have last name, you have import ID, tag, you have contact ID, but you are able to select the particular record, so select particular column, and you are mapping with a different one. So that's the use of this select operation. Okay, and let's see what is the other one we have. We have tried filtering array, select, and we have join. To use join, what we can do, so suppose we want to combine records with some value, let's assume. So in this scenario, what we have, so let's but let me pass the output from selector, join with operator. So for now what I will choose, find contact email address, I will just append join with. So I will just use this extra character to join with from output. Let's see what will happen, how it joins. And add in some extra character. In general, you will be giving add one more array or like that we will be using. But we don't have a one more array right here. Let's see how it works. Or you can have use anything. Let's adding this like this, okay? Using test manually test. Now you got output. So what is the difference? So contact email address one. Let's put this in JS. Let me put it in a formatter. You will identify what it happened. Is this valid JSON? First of all, error line one. Now if you see contact email address, we are giving the text or it. See this one. You got it. For whatever you have value, it is appending, right? Like that it will do. Mm, mm. Do you see? Do you see what happened? I'm just adding. What did I added in the operator? So join with. So for everything, it is appending for the contact email address like this email address. It is if you have also it is not appending. If you have also it is appending with full name. This is the entire object, right? So after that, it is appending with this value. For the next record also it is appending. So like that, if you want to use combine two records, it will be working. So next time what we will do, instead of this like this, we will just use one more. So this is select, right? So now I will append with the same item. I don't think it. So obviously it will come in loop. So it will become a nested loop because we have a multiple objects in the first outcome. Run it. Okay. So you had some error, that's okay, invalid. So it's not allowing to take the array. Now that's okay. So like this, basically to combine anything you will be using like this. Now I'm switching back to the older version. So how do you can switch? Here you have versions. Your so you can maintain the versions. Suppose you modified some flow yesterday. Today you modified some other change. Now you want to get the old history. So you can get it. So I just want to reload to the older version. Let's assume 732 has my current version. 733 I added the latest. So I just want to go to 733 this version. So you can just restore it. Like that we can do the version restore as well. Now we have this, right. Now let's see the other options. So we have seen join select filter array, right? So we can create a HTML table also. For this also you have to pass array. You can pass any output, filtering array output or listros output. So here it will create a HTML table. So suppose if you want to send it in an email, the same table. So that time it will be useful. So if you use the listros directly, it will won't come in a formatted. But if you keep it in the create HTML output of this one, it will come. Let's see that. I'm just using hard-coded dot operations practice. So first I will try to pass the normal output. So this is the list rows output, right? So to know it more, we will use like that. Next link, where it is normal. Okay, I don't want the loop actually. I will just undo, remove this, delete. It will delete entire step. You will lose that. Send email. So whenever you are trying to use the output of list rows, you are unable to use as is because the output of list rows it will give a 26 records, right? So whenever you choose, automatically you are getting a loop, but you don't want the goal itself. You want to send the 26 records in a email. So in that scenario, what you have to do, you have to choose kind of a placeholder. So that is nothing but a compose from a dot operations. Okay. So let me add compose first. So before this, I will insert compose operations. In that compose, you can do whatever you want to keep. This will work as a placeholder. So I am just keeping body value of distros. Now the entire results will be storing in a temporary place, that is compose. Then if I use now here, instead of output of list rows, I can just select the output of compose. This won't give you the loop because you are storing results of a list rows in a some other parameter. Data operation searching. Okay, I'm just using connection. We have connection. Now testing. So what will happen when I'm using like this? I'm expecting to send a table to the table format in the email. This flow cannot be changed. Electrically. Man, this will not be taken about testing. Right? Let me switch to here, run it, input, and next one. Start. So it will execute all steps and then it has to execute the send email as well. So how will I get for send email? It might executed, contact card status, did it executed, test fail, it's running. What is this error? We haven't saved it, huh? Edit. This is the current version, right? Save as draft, publish. Okay. Now it's done. Your flow is ready to test. Now you can test it. So whenever you do save as draft, it won't make the changes. It won't save the changes. So that's why it was not. We are unable to execute it earlier. So I'm using this alias run flow. So now if you see, this will execute. So we should be able to see email here. If you refresh, did I give right alias? So what is the alias I used? Develop.it connect. This is the one, right? same one. Why it didn't? So if you see the output, the meanwhile here show output, it is not coming in a table or anything. It is coming like this. We go to values also, you don't have anything. Compose also, you will have a similar kind of expressions. Show output, it will have this all these attributes. Let's see email. Is it in spam? The data operational key. So like this, maybe because of this code, it will come in there. Now, so this is not a readable format. This is not a good format, right? So what I want to use, I want to use it in a send it as a table. So instead of earlier sending output as is, I can use this create HTML, this one. So I can pass the filtering arrays attributes instead of passing the output of the filter array compose. I can compose now create HTML output. So that will make a readable format table. So it will convert our entire array into results. It will automatically map the columns, whatever we have. Email address one as a everything for for every record you have email address one as a comment, right? So it will create a email address one as a table header, contact as a table header, first time as a, then it will execute. Okay. Now if I go here, again come into spam only or execute, right? So run it. Dot operations. You published it, right? So I will just run from here. Run it. Executed. Let's go to email. It could be in spam or it could be in 741. Now if you see earlier one is kind of this kind of junk like this. Now if you see this is coming in a table format. So like this you can use this send create HTML table. It will make a readable format. Automatically it will convert the headers, everything it will make it. So like that you can use this create HTML. So we will be using compose for placeholder. We will be using HTML for converting array into table. We will be using join for joining anything with that existing array. We will be using select for selecting the particular column and renaming it. And we will be using a filtering array for filtering the entire array. So like this we will be using. So do you have any leftover operations here? So parse JSON. So parse JSON means like this. This is the JSON, right? So if you give this kind of JSON, automatically it will parse what it is, what is the first value, what is the second value, like that. Okay, if you see content, you have to pass create schema from. If you just click on it, this one. So like this. So entire all this format type string like that. This will the schema. It will do a parse. You can use it. So at the end, this will also have the same format. The problem with partition is you have to use some other output of like this, but I will be using filtering array only here instead of this one. Save draft. So once you save draft, you have to publish. Then only it will change your changes. It will reflect your changes. Now I'm doing testing. H1 at the rate ms.com. Okay. Now you have some error. That's fine. The schema validation is failed. What it is expecting output no puts invalid type accepted object but got an array. So like that it will fail. But instead of in general you have to JSON means you have to give the only this kind of values. So it will try to pass it. Okay. Now that's how we will be using. So any questions in the data operations so far? We will be using compose. So similarly you can create a CSV. CSV table means Excel table, right? So you can use this operator for creating Excel table. Okay. Now if you see, so far like this data operations means you are working on data, you are making some doing validations or you are making operations, right? So that's why we will be using the data operation. So whenever you are using data operations, you will be make more readable or more kind of data operations. Okay. So you will be using one after the getting the results using the data operations. You will be using somewhere in the next place in the flow. Now you see here, while whenever you are using list rows, you are using connections. Whenever you are using send email, you are using connection, right? So what does that mean? As I said earlier, for every thing, CRM will create a connector. Suppose you want to connect to CRM, so you are using the Dataverse. So in the backend, it will create a connection. You want to use the Outlook. So for this, also it will create a connection in the from backend. Okay. So likewise, for every system you want to connect, you have to create the connector. So how can we see what are the connectors available for my login? So if you come here, if you click on this more, you will be having connections. So if you see here, I have LT admin database connector, I have LT admin Outlook connector, I have SQL connectors. I don't know who created it. And I have mail connector. I have this old database connector. So like this. So for every connector you want to create, you have to create a connection. Now, so now you are using this LT admin connection. Your password got expired, or you want to change something, or you want to change the account without the same connection. So you can come here, open this. You can change this switch account. So instead of connection. So the current logged in with the logged in credentials, it will do a check that the connection will be stored. Now if you see here, it will show how many flows this connection is being used. It is using the instant cloud flow, create everything, expression practice, etc. We are getting double, but some issue with the flow. But these are the places you are using. If you open it, it will open the open, or you can just get the name. Okay. Similarly, if you go this SQL, I don't know who created, but I just want to see created by LTL only, but no one is. We don't have any connection. So like this, we can check the connections, what are the connections being used, and who are the owners, what is the account they are using for everything. Suppose if I want to share some other person the same account, so I want to use this same account with you guys as well. So in that case, what I can do, I can just share your alias, share with you. Just share file or my console. Don't find why what's wrong. The resource only is ever shared with service principal. So because as this is a database connector, we are able to share. So for that one, I will try to share this one. This is also shared with service principal. So earlier we used to share with normal also service principal. We have created CI/CD pipelines, right? We will try to use this CI/CD apps. So service principal means app users. So what they can do, they can share, they can use and share, they can edit. I'm giving can use and share. So apart from me, the CSCD app logged in also, they can use this connection. Like this, we will maintain the connection. So what do you mean by connection? So for every connector to authenticate to that system, we need a connection, right? So that is the connection. In the connection, we will have the credentials, how we are going to connect everything. So we will be maintaining the, basically it's kind of a login. Okay. Now this is a connection, but if you see in the flow, what you are seeing a connection reference. Have you noticed it? So connection reference is a kind of a layer on top of connection. So for each action, it will try to have a connection reference, change connection reference. So here if you see, this is the connection reference, it's being used. Okay. If you go back to solution, you have 4 connection reference added to your system. So in four references, if you see here, Microsoft Dataverse is the common one. I'm using that one. If you open this one, if you click on edit, here you can see what connection it is being used. So I have only single connection. So this is the user. So connection reference is also connection only, but it will be kind of a layer. So from this layer, what you can do, you can choose the connection, what connection you have to use. Right now I have only single Dataverse connection, right? So instead of that single Dataverse connection, I will try to create a one more. So from Dataverse connections, you can choose this. Auth, I'm just selecting auth. Okay. 4 seconds ago, I will rename it as like a new connection for. Now if you go and come here, just to refresh or open directly. So earlier we should have only one. Now we have a new connection for LT admin. So connection reference is a additional layer on the connections where this will be linked to the flow. So while importing the Power Automate flow, we are getting the choose connection reference, right? So connections will be stricted to same environment, but connection reference will be carried across other environments. So let's do for that also. I will just export this solution to understand clear. Next, managed keeping version. Okay, selecting. Now download. Now I want to import it, right? So switch back to production or test, whatever. Now I want to import solution, my Power Automate, where I have the connection reference. Now we see, let me go to connections first. Do you have any connections or not? I have connections. Okay, let me delete this to make it clear understanding. So right now I don't have connections, any connections in the system. So I'm trying to import the unmanaged solution, which where I have the flows and connection reference. Okay, importing solution, day 19, updating. So you have already day 90 solution, you are updating the higher version. So what will happen? Will it create a new solution or it will just override the things? Now if we see, re-establish the connection to activate your solution. Updates needed to updates optional. I'm just not selecting this one for now. So this is okay. Elliot problem. Now if you see, it is importing. So will it create a new solution or it will just override? I'm just using the same solution with a different version number. Sanjay, will it create a new solution or it will create a new solution or it will override when we are using the same solution with a different version number?
Overrated.
Yes, because the schema name of solution, everything is same and you are giving the extra additional higher version, right? So
Yes.
in this component only it will update. Now if you see you have connection reference to environment variable one, flow one, right? So with the new solution, you should get two, three flows because we have three flows, right? So it will get the new components, the additional components currently importing. Let it import. Mhm.
You didn't give access to other environment series. You have,
I didn't give a.
yes, yes.
Let me- It is imported. Now if you see, if I do refresh, I will get the additional flows as well. So it won't create a new solution unless its schema name is different. Now 2019, it's not reflected. Let me do publish all customizations. Now open the solution, check the components. Why you have single, still cloud plus expression practice. Was it managed or managed earlier? Diagonal managed no only, but I downloaded with the new chip, right? Did I have to publish in local? Okay. 19 it has three. Let me publish components here and export it again. Because of some issue, it's not coming. Let me redo it, the import. So meanwhile, I will try to give the access to you guys. So how to give access to environment? We have to go the users and we have to give the alias, right? So these are my environments, manage environments. So you want to port. So here I will go to users and you one selecting. This is already appearing because you are in the security group. I'm giving you have access now already. What you are expecting?
There is LUT 6.
It's not delete one now. Okay, okay. So to give it to LET one, One second. Users. You have only LUT. Okay. Now here I will try to add user here LUT1. So now it will ask what security do you have to give. I'm giving system information to custom user. So similarly, I want to do it for test environment, right? I will go test here, users, add user LUT1. Now again it will ask to security what I have to give. We will choose. Okay. Now let me go back to my source. I just completed publish all customization. Now I will exporting solution again with a different number, at least unmanaged 1.002 run as and solution. Now I can download this and import it again. Download, import it. Replace your older solution with one. Replace only. So now if you see here, earlier as you have the connections, it's not. Now if you see automatically, it is. This is the whatever you have, right? This is the connection reference, and for this current environment, you will have a different connections, right? So like this, it will behave. Now if you go to connections again, you can bookmark this one. It created two connections, right? 18 seconds. So connections will be particular to the environment. The connection reference, whatever you have it in the solution, that will be that can travel across environments. If you see this one connection reference, this whatever you have, this number, same connection reference number you have it in, you can have it in the that environment, source environment. 811A4. 811A4. So this is the placeholder to hold connections. So in the connection reference, you will have the environment specific connection, but the connection reference is as a kind of a placeholder pointer. If you want to change the connection, whatever being used here, you will be choosing the different one here. Okay, like that we will be using. So still our flow is not reflected. Let me see what went will. I will just version is updated to 1.002. Now components outflow one only. Expressions and email. Data operation practice also you got it. So you have three flows now. It is sync, right? So like this, it will override the components. Okay. So this is all about Power Automate flow. I hope we covered everything, whatever we need. Just do a practice. Try do all kind of activities, whatever the scenarios we are sharing. Get it habituated because this is being used with low code, no code. Okay.